Good morning. I'm ready to eat out of Deuteronomy chapter 28. This chapter might be a book that we have read part of, and it may be a little popular because it's a lot of things that people say. Many songs have been written about part of what Deuteronomy 28 says. And Father, we thank you this morning for your word, and we thank you that we have a right to come in and see how you think, and that we will walk out with a good understanding. We'll walk out with a clear word from you, what you said in Deuteronomy through Moses to us for our learning, so we can see exactly how you are thinking according to these words spoken to the children of Israel right before they entered into the promised land. Help us to take out what is ours, and thank you for sharing what you told them with us, because you didn't have to do it, but you did. Thank you for forgiving me of my sins, and thank you for giving me the right to forgive others that have wronged me. In Jesus' name, amen. I pray that this word will penetrate the hearts of anybody who's interested in knowing what is Deuteronomy 28 talking about. Because we have learned the lingos, but then the lingos may not match up with what God really said. So I want to know, as a student, what did you say? Because I want to make sure that if I quoted you, that I didn't make any mistakes. And if I did, I will apologize and say I was wrong. All right, let's paint this picture, because this chapter is going to take some time, and I'm going to take my time. I plan to read every word, and I'm going to read it from the New King James Version, because it helps out, because it is long. And it goes pretty much everything that I would say if I would take the King James and bump it with the these and the thous. So, but it's very clear. So I want to paint a picture of who Jesus is. All right, Paul, let me go back to Galatians, the 3rd chapter, or just the book of Galatians, but I'm going to emphasize Galatians, the 3rd chapter. So when you receive this word, you got a good understanding of the whole purpose and plan of God for man and his connection with him. Jesus died for us. His whole reason, God's whole plan for us, with the plan of salvation in mind, was to get a group of people so that they can demonstrate how good God is, and they will represent him by showing us. They were going to be this light. They were going to be this. That was God's whole purpose, is to get you to be something that people will watch. So when the people that God chose, which were the Jews, to be his vessel, it's like you're on your job, when you got a good employee that models what you think. You want this person to stand up and say, I want to demonstrate what our CEO was talking about. So the Jews became this selected group of people. He had Abraham. He had Noah. He had Adam. He had single people. But this time he got a group. And he said, I want to show you how I would lead you even if I had a nation of people. Okay, the Jews got we're going to go into this promised land. But how do we get to Jesus? Because when the Jews got coming from the country, if I might say it, and got into the city, they got distracted. It was too much for them, they thought. But God knew he knew what the city held. He said, that's my land, and I want to show Brenda and anybody else that listens how to go in and take what's mine. Everything on earth is God's. You just have to be bold enough to just say it without feeling like, oh, if I say this, if you do that, then God can't use you. But if you say exactly what he says, then whatever land that you walk upon, whether it be your house, whether it be your anything that's on earth belongs to God. So that means that God's people has a right to represent God. So the Jews came from the country, and I'm using that just so we can see it. Just imagine somebody who's never had anything. Now you have been given everything, and you see everybody, and you see all the distractions of life. That's all the enemy has, is a distraction. If I can just keep your eyes off of the written word of God, then I got you just where I need you. If I could just give you a portion of the word, but not the total thing, then I got you. So what Jesus did, Jesus said, and when Paul saw, okay, now the Jews did this. The Jews, first of all, when you meet Daniel, you heard of Daniel. Some of y'all might have heard of Daniel. Well, anyway, a lot of people like to talk about Daniel. But what Daniel did, as well as Ezra, they sinned against God. So they became one of those people who was captivated by people who didn't have good sense. And God is going to say that in Deuteronomy 28. So when Daniel got in there and he saw what the king said, and they said, well, you got to eat it. Daniel said, no, I don't want to eat that. And it's not so much Daniel thought that, he just knew that what you were getting ready to feed him, he was not. That's something that was the way he had been brought up. We don't eat like that. We don't eat like that. These people worship idols. These people worship handmade gods. And Daniel walked in there and Ezra saw what they had. Daniel and them knew that they had the best of life. But they got incarcerated or they got in captivity and held by people that didn't speak their language, changed their names, just like God is going to say. Because they got off track. This same Daniel that we preach about got in trouble. Go ahead and look at how he prayed. Look how Ezra prayed. They failed, they came from the country, if I might say, went to the city and got off track. But once they got held in isolation by kings and all of the people that held them in bondage, they came to their senses. So in that process, God spoke through Daniel and Ezra and all of the what we call, quote, the minor and major prophets. These guys that's getting ready to talk about Jesus. So what did Jesus do? What's his purpose for us? To redeem us from what we call this law. But see, under this law was just not a curse. It was a blessing too. It's two mountains there. One mountain represents, y'all going to speak on the blessing. The other mountain says, I'm going to definitely give you what I'm going to do if you don't do what I said. That's just how God works. He's not just going to give you all the stuff. He's going to say, you eat this, you'll live. You eat this, you're going to die. That's just how he works. So what happened was the Jews did not fulfill God's image of him. Absolutely. When we read Deuteronomy 28, it's nobody but L-O-V is talking. Nobody but love is talking. So you got to hear from somebody that's in love with you, talking to you. So when Jesus went and the Jews and the Gentiles, the Jews tried to say, come here, y'all ain't doing that right. You ain't doing that right. You need to do this. You need to wear some on your head every day. You don't need to wear this. You don't need to wear blue. You don't need to, all the things that they thought that God wanted us to be visual people. That's what they tried to entrap us with. So what we do today is we don't necessarily do what the Jews did. Like we may not yell at you because you do something on a Saturday. Some people do. But we got a whole lot of stuff that we do. We just got all kind of stuff and things that you got to do this and do this and do this. And Paul said, no. And when Paul saw the church getting off like that, he went to the Galilee. He said, what y'all doing? He said, he was like, y'all, please don't do that. Please don't start trying to act like you going to please God with some stuff. Jesus said, Paul was saying about Jesus. When he went to that cross and they nailed that hand with a nail, side, pierce, feet, crown, all the things that we did to take his life. He said, you have been redeemed from the curse of the law. Now that's that part of the law you've been redeemed from. You don't have to live like that anymore. And we take that and we say it, but do we really know what we're talking about? What Jesus, and a lot of you do, and what Jesus was saying, what Paul was saying about the execution of Jesus having gone through that. The law says the penalty, if a man is found guilty and he hangs on a tree and he is found guilty, and he was wrong. He was going to, there was a supreme capital punishment. Whatever that guy did, it was bad what he did. In order to merit not just the stoning, but just imagine you did something that allows in our day to get you the electric chair. You did something that nobody's, look, this got to be a lesson to you. And I am going to put you in this electric chair so everybody else that would ever try to do what you did, you're going to get this same thing. And that's got to be a crime that's crazy. So what Jesus did, he took the high penalty, saying that I'm going to do the most deadliest thing that a man can do to another man is to hang him on a tree. That's to take a human being, take his hand, just imagine, and you take the sharpest nail and you hang that body weight on a tree, and then you position his feet and you put that on that tree, and you take a spear and you stick him in the side. And then you take just think about every part of your body hurts if you came in contact with a rose bush. But you take that thing, and I'm sure them guys that were sticking that thing on Jesus had their hands totally protected. But they meant to crucify you, and they want you, and I want you dead. And this came from the mouth of the church. This did not come from people that don't know God. This came from people that say, you out of order. This came from God's people. And that's what really hurts. It's when the church does you like that. The only people that's supposed to represent God is the one that's killing God. Or any representation of God. That's the crazy part. But Jesus said, I am going to get myself nailed on this cross. This is what Paul was trying to say. Stop trying to go in there and get a whole bunch of old foolishness and try to say this represents God. He said, stop that. And so what Jesus did, he said, I became a curse for you. I became so that they can nail me in my hand. You want to know why I did it? Because if I don't do it, you got to do it. If I don't let them do that to me, the crime that you have committed today, what they did to me, that was meant for you. But what I did was I took it. I took them nails. So when I get into Deuteronomy 28, I'm going to take one sin. I'm going to take one of those things that those folk did. And I'm going to show you how God felt about that one sin that they did. I'm not going to talk about all of them. I'm going to say one. I'm going to say, I'm going to move this thing that's your neighbor's and say this thing belonged to your neighbor and you took it. And I'm going to show you how God felt about it. So when Jesus took that thing and he took the price of, this is how much God hates sin. It's not God got a bad day and I'm just going to throw out a whole bunch of things because I don't like y'all. No, that's not how God works. Love doesn't act like that. He said, but I'm going to show you what I don't like when you do somebody else the way I just said, don't do it. And I'm going to tell you what I'll do to you. Not so much, you can't do nothing to me. I'm God. If I wanted to make you a thing and you treat me the way you treat me, what you think, I'll blow you out. That's not a problem for me. But the problem that I got is not what you can do to me. You never seen me. It's I'm going to get you for what you do to each other. I'm going to get you for wearing my name and the way you treat people. That's how I'm going to get you. So when I tell you you're going to be cursed, I'm not cursing you because of what I think about you. I'm going to get you for what you did to somebody else. So Jesus said, he said, you can't live it. But I got to become everything that my Father requires of you. And I'm going to take your place. And what I'm going to do, you got to trust me. When you ask me to come into you, I'm coming. And it's not you that's going to do the work that my Father requires. It's me living on the inside of you. You can't understand that. I don't need you to understand that. All I need you to do is come to me daily and let me feed you. Because the Holy Ghost has nothing to bring back to your remembrance unless you put something in there. So it's my instructions that I want in you. I want my word in you so that when he does bring something back to your remembrance, it's because you already deposited the word on the inside. We got this thing so screwed up. How important is the word of God? It is the only thing that's important. It'll make you go to work. It'll make you go to work on time. It'll make you get out that bed with that woman that's not your husband. It'll make you stop sleeping with that dog. It'll make you love your mom and your daddy. We can't do it on our own. We cannot love God on our own. The mystery that God made is just as mystifying as when God said it to Adam, I'll blow into you the breath of life. It is him that moves and thinks and operates in us and walks through us. We got to get that thing right. That's why that word is so important. Because if you don't put that word in you, you're gonna pay that penalty. That cross that Jesus took that nail and he put it in his hand and he let them folk do me like that. That's what we deserve. As much as if you say one thing about what I'm saying, you say one thing, I am not coming to you with me. I'm coming to you with the word of God. I've been to too many churches that play too many games. My life is dedicated. I know what it's like to see a child flunk. I know what it's like for a teacher to teach a child. He said, when I took that thing that was meant for you, I said, I have redeemed you for what they want to do to you. I'm not playing. I don't get up every day and every night to do this because I ain't got nothing else to do. I do this because I believe in the word of God. You ever been hurt by the church? You'll understand why I did this. You ever been to a school where your principal could care less about those kids? And that's why I went through that. I went before God. I said, what do you mean? Who are you? Why does Jesus, who is Jesus in us? Why we don't know who you are? Why is it that we don't know? Why we drive every morning to go to church only to sit there to absolutely know nothing when we come out of there? We have to be educated. So this God that's saying, I'm not mad at you because of what they done lied about me, saying you don't need it. He said, I'm trying to show you what the price that Jesus said, you can't do it. You cannot do it. He said, without me, my word, you can do nothing. And you're going to get everything that they did to me. I'm trying my best to keep it off of you. So when you read Deuteronomy 28, you're not talking about a people of God that's just saying something. I'm telling you, you did something to get that. These people went out of order. We are doing the same thing. We are doing the same exact thing. What is it in the United States that we're not doing that God had to provoke his judgment against his people? He said, now stop telling people that I'm mad at you. He said, I don't like the fact of what you did to your brother. The love that God has for us, it cannot be comprehended. You cannot understand that love. You cannot understand it. It's no way your brain can comprehend that kind of love. And let's see what this love is talking about. I stayed on this thing. I said, Lord, what is this? Because if you walk into Deuteronomy 28, you almost feel like I ain't worth nothing. He said, it ain't about you. It's what you did to somebody else that I don't like. It's not my relationship. See, we walked around thinking that, oh, we can't please God. We can't believe God said, get off of that. What did you do this morning to somebody else? I don't care what it is. If you did it without me, you deserve every punishment in here. But if you did it because if you woke up this morning with the word on the inside, Jesus said, I paid the price. I paid it because I know what it's like to be hung on a tree, humiliated, everything about me exposed. My bowels exposed, my everything that a woman ain't anybody supposed to see. I've hung there. I hung there. I'm not trying to get you to understand. I'm talking about that was you. If you woke up this morning fighting and cussing and sleeping with your dog and sleeping with your neighbor's wife, you are the one God has sent. What you are doing with something that I told you not to do. I'm trying to paint you a picture of how much I love the person you just hurt. Even if you just hurting yourself. You got to hear this word instead of saying, I ain't going up under that law. Girl, you're going to get every bit of this law if you don't know what that word said. Jesus said, let me in. The thing that I'm going to do to you is a miracle. Stop trying to figure out what I'm doing. When your conscience is full of the word of God, you're going to think before you speak. I don't know how that thing works. I don't know how a baby can become a man, but somewhere in the process of feeding that baby became exactly what it was supposed to be. If we don't stop neglecting this word, you got to hear both sides of God. You walking around, I'm blessed in this city, I'm blessed in this. You a lie. I know you're not blessed like that because you're never spending the time in that word. What's drawing you back? What's growing you? Let me tell y'all something. I said it yesterday and I'll say it again today. God said every sin you want to commit, go at it. Go at it. Any sin you want. Any sin you want to commit, do it. If you just can't give it up, he said, by all means, what is it that you want? What kind of sin you want to commit? What is it that you can't just give up? Because I'm going to name a lot of them today. He said, now, some of them I'm not going to put in here. I'm going to tell you I'm going to do it because what I'm going to do to you going to be worse than what you can even imagine. So I ain't going to even say it all. But what sin is it that you want? He said, by all means, do it. By all means, build a hotel. By all means, sleep with that womanhood because this is the best life you're going to get. The thing that you can't give up, this is your best. So make sure. If they don't want it, tell them to go ahead. And if they don't want to hear what you got to say, tell them to go ahead. This is the best life. Anything I'm asking you to give up, I'm trying to let you know I'm not playing. Well, why did he make us? Well, then what you want to do? You still here. So if you're going to breathe off of him, live after him, move after him, and then let him live in you and let him do the work. He cannot do the work, people, if we don't get in the word. We ain't getting nowhere. Just as soon as Peter got his eyes off the word, he starts sinking. And if you think you living underwater and you can breathe and some people can, I'm sorry. If it's not like God, do the best you can. Because this is it. Whatever we're satisfied with now, God is like this. I'm going to rejoice. Jesus said, I'm going to look at you and I promise you. Don't tell me that, hey, ain't no God going to love you. Let me tell you the truth. All I got to do is tell you the truth, and that's love. All I got to do is just tell you the truth. God does not change his mind. And if he did, he got to go pick up Korah. He got to go back and get the renowned people, the most prettiest people you ever seen before Noah was building that ark. You got to go get them folk back up. He said, I will forget you. Why? Because you don't think about it until, see, when you think of yourself, you think that God can't do it. But God said, but since you can't get it like that, what did you do to your neighbor? Now think about that. What did you do to somebody else? Since you can't see that I'm God, a God that can take you and make a play. What you do to the folk? What you do when you cause it? You know you committed that crime and everybody's still trying to search who did it. You know you're lying. You know you killed a prophet that was telling you the truth, and then just to get rid of him, you thought you were going to silence my voice. I'll raise me another one. We got this thing so screwed up. We so screwed up until we so screwed up until we too ashamed to fall on our knees because I don't want nobody to know I ain't anointed. You are not anointed. Bottom line. If the Bible said wisdom is justified of her children. In other words, all the people that you are leading, can they, if you ask them, stand up there one day and regurgitate what you've been putting in them? Can they teach others? Do they get up in the morning with their children and tell them the word and go to bed telling the children while they walk up? Do they do that? Or do they just have to wait and drive up? I got to go get a word from the Lord. That is so stupid. I'm telling you, I don't play. I never have. And when I did play, I was still trying to be real. When I will have fun now. Don't worry about people saying, if I chew gum, that'll bother you. Please find somebody because I chew gum because I want to let you know that it ain't nothing religious about God. If I can go outside and jump rope, I'll do this. Just to show you, take that stuff off his word. Take that stuff, anything that you got religion, take it off. If I chew gum, yes, every morning I put some gum in my mouth. Because I really want you to see God ain't got us up. He don't all of our religious ways, all of it, I go to this church and I go to this church. So for what? That's almost like going to a school that's flunking and you bragging. You're on a team that's losing and you bragging. Because why? You don't know the word. How in the world you going to go to Deuteronomy 28 and grab the top of it? It's 68 verses in this thing. I'm finna read. Where my glasses at? And I know you're busy. I don't even care. I don't care if it ain't one person looking at me. I do not care. Sick of this. If I leave it for an inheritance for somebody else, maybe when I'm gone, maybe somebody says, you know, she was telling the truth. Because I'm sick of what we do to these churches. I'm sick of it. It's a crime. You talking about the president of the United States, your pastor is a criminal. How in the world God gonna give you a good leader and you being led by somebody that done told God that I almost want to say something that ain't. You told God you told God something you shouldn't. You cussed God. That's what you did. Told God I ain't studying your word. I'm finna read. Lord have mercy. I ain't finna miss not one verse, and if I do, it's because I made a mistake. It's purposely not trying to say I did. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot live this life. It's something that God did. Don't try to understand it. When Jesus get on the inside of you and you want to know what's going to make you stop doing the things that you do, stay in the word. Stay in the word. Stay in the word. What makes our hair grow? We don't know. What makes our eyes see? We don't know. That's how that spirit is. All we got to do is tell Jesus. Jesus said, look, let me tell y'all something. I wasn't playing when I went on that cross. He said, I wasn't playing. That hurt. He said, but I knew if I didn't get myself, because what it is about God, God is right. And then for something for God to keep his hands off you, something had to die. So he said, I love you so much. And I'm not just saying this as a cliche. I'm telling you this from the depths of my heart, from a little kid that's hungry to know, Lord, what's wrong with us? He said, you don't believe me. You don't believe that I got on the inside of you. You don't believe that it requires that you know what I say. You got to know my vocabulary. My voice ought not to be a stranger to you. When you hear my words, your ears ought to perk up. It's something about my voice and my sheep. They don't tolerate. They'll see me. They'll say, Brenda, you're wrong. According to what? And I'm going to do like this. Tell me where I'm wrong. Because I'd rather for you to rebuke me and then kiss me and then know that you ain't thinking about me. I'd rather for you to tell me you're a lie and the devil is in you and then show me by the word that I am. But what I'm saying to you, I can go to Africa, Asia, Antarctica, Australia, North. I can go anywhere on earth to say this thing and everybody will have to say amen. It'll work in it. What I'm saying to you will work in the government house. What I'm saying will work in your house. This thing will work in the jail house. This thing will work. I don't care because what is God saying? Do things right. Now tell me anybody don't want that. Tell me anybody on earth. Nothing religious. Do it right. Take your time. Why are you in a hurry? Cain, why? Go back and do it over. That's not what I taught you. Go back and do it over. But what we do? I ain't doing that. You too hard to please. God said, I ain't asked you. I just said, do it. Everybody can't do it in 10 minutes. You might need 80 minutes. You might need a month. Just do it right. When you go out and you build somebody's house, and now I see why Jesus became a contractor. That's me talking. Because he's a judge, them contractors, you know them people had to have a place to live. And you went in there and botched it. He's going to botch you up just as much as you botched that woman's house up. I'm going to botch you. I'm going to get you. That fatherless boy that's going up and down the street acting like that. He said, I'm going to get you for the way. I'm going to get you. Not so much of what they did because he's going to get that too. He said, but when we have a place to make a difference in people's lives and we throw some at people, he said, that's why I'm going to get you. So when you read Deuteronomy 28, read it like, get it off of you. Because all you going to tell me, can't nobody live that life. He said, I tell you what, if you took something out of your neighbor's house, you're going to get the same punishment these folks. Go ask Daniel and Ezra. Go in there and read those books and see how the men cried out to God and said, forgive us of our sins. We don't read that part. Some of us ain't said forgive us of our sins since the day you say you've been born again, and you a lie. I'm saved and sanctified and baptized, and no evil have I done. Let's go to the word. Let's see what God said to us. Now it shall come to pass, if you diligently obey the voice of the Lord your God, to observe carefully all his words, his commandments, which I command you today, that the Lord your God will set you high above all nations on the earth. That's the part we like. But we miss that part. If you carefully, all you got to do now is go and get in Jesus' class, sit down and say, teach me. I want to know what you said, how you said. Wait, hold on. Y'all be quiet. I got to cut my TV off because I'm going to miss some if you talk. That's what I'm just saying, how we got to do this thing. Don't come to God telling God, my bishop said this, and my mama said, God, what did I say? What I said? Don't give me no hearsay. You can't get on that witness stand and testify against somebody's life off of no hearsay. You can't get up there and tell me something. Joanna, I really wasn't there, but my mama they gonna put you on one of them jackets that ain't got no arms in it, because you sound like you crazy. All right, let me Lord, thank you. Let me calm down, because you know that I don't want to miss not one word of this movie. This stuff is so good. This word is so good. And all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you. He said the blessings you can't even, by the time you get, them blessings will beat you there. We like that part. But we don't act nothing like what he said you can have in order to get. This is hypothetical. And that's just letting you know. This is the children of Israel standing outside the promised land, and God is saying what you can have when you get in here. But hold on, because I ain't through talking. And all these blessings shall come upon you if you overtake you. If you treat your neighbor right. All these blessings shall come upon you if you overtake you, because you obey the voice of the Lord your God. Is she qualified to be? Is she a preacher? No, I ain't no preacher. I'm glad God didn't call me to be no preacher, because that's where we get all stooped up and messed up. You got to be somebody with a title, with a clergy around your neck. I ain't nobody. I'm nothing and nobody. I'm just like a man that said I'm in the wilderness trying to cry out to people. Open up this book and read it and stop acting a fool. Stop putting them videos online saying, look at how we just shouting at those stupid stuff. Oh, girl, that's back in the day. Oh, I love that storefront thing. I try to delete everything that I see that look like that. That's a humiliation. If I sit there and let you ride my page, that means I agree with you. I don't. And all these blessings shall come upon you. And he said, who you think you are? Nobody. And well, I am with the one that's on the side of me, because I ain't playing. I'm looking at this word. And all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you. Why? Because you treated your neighbor right. That's why they're going to overtake you. That's because when that widow woman was in that house, you went in there and you built that house right. He said, I'm going to bless you so. I'm going to bless you so. I'm going to bless you so. And all these blessings come upon you and overtake you. We just said it because the pastor said, say it. I'm telling y'all, you don't need no pastor to tell you. You better read it for yourself. And then God will give you a pastor. Because right now we at home. And I declare, I really, truly, honestly, I do believe and probably almost thank God shut this thing down. He said, God ain't got nothing to do with it. Tell him to stop it then. He able to do it. I think until we get our houses clean, because God, I told you the other day when God said, I'm walking no mess, he said, if your house nasty, I'm walking out of there. He said, I'm clean. He said that to them folk in the army. Was it the 24th chapter, 25th? He said, you get off your horse, you make sure you get that spade and you dig a hole, and where your defecation is, you put it inside that ground and cover it up, because when I walk through there and I step on, I'm gone. And you can handle this war by yourself. That word, but we don't know that. We're a stranger to God's word. Like we can just live in the way, just watch this guy. Oh, he coming. He said, I ain't coming to you. We got to clean up. He said, Brenda, I'm talking to you too. Absolutely. And guess what I'm doing? Cleaning up. I've been cleaning up ever since the corona. And all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you, because you obey the voice of the Lord your God. Why? You stayed in my word. Why? The bottom line, you went to work on time and then you did what you're supposed to do. God said, I'm going to bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. Bless you in the city. Well, that's works. Well, that's what you get paid for. Don't get stupid now. Don't get stupid. Go represent, be a light to somebody in this dark world, because half the folk that's going to work ain't working. They just getting a check. I ain't lying to you. Blessed shall you be in the city, and blessed shall you be in the country. He said, where you going to go if you ain't got the city or the country? Blessed shall be the fruit of your body, the produce of your ground, and the increase of your herds, the increase of your cattle, and the offsprings of your flocks. Blessed shall be your basket. You principles, let me say this to you. You better get off them teachers' back. You're going to get that nail in your hand. You better get off them teachers' back and stop making them teachers get them grades for them kids that ain't doing nothing and them parents ain't doing nothing. Don't you do it. I'm telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a right to stand on God's word, because the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. Anybody tell you give a child a grade that didn't earn that grade and try to force you and tell you how much power they got over you, you say you do you. And you can be respectful, but I'm telling you, stop giving these kids this grade so they can wake up and start living up to what you said. When you stop giving it to them, they might change. And stop, anyway, let's move. I just say teachers, because that's all I know. car manufacturers and people that making all these name brand person not putting that quality stuff in there. This what God's saying I'm gonna get you for. The stuff that we doing. We doing this. Well, I got me a coach. You know, I can't say I'm big over now. I don't know what no Louis Vuitton is, but I bet you one thing. If you don't put everything in there that you said, you gonna hate that you put your name on it. Ooh, blessed be the fruit of your body, the produce of your ground, increase of your herds. And if you cooking and putting, I done told y'all about putting them old cheap things in them expensive bottles in that shampoo place and telling them folk that you putting this in there and you know your hand lying. This is what them scriptures talking to. Bless, you doing, if you are doing it right, he said, blessed shall be the fruit of your body, the produce of your ground, the increase of your herds, the increase of your cattle, and offsprings of your flock. Blessed shall be your basket, that means your bowl, and the dough that's in it. Blessed shall be you when you come in. Blessed shall when you go out. That's what God looking for. He looking for somebody that's going to do it right. And he said, when you do it right, I'm going to bless you, bless you, bless you up, bless you to the south, bless you to the north, bless you to the east, bless you to the west. And you can't be, I'm talking about, we done turned our churches into a big old play where in the music department, and God has said, I can't even stand the center of that place. He said, when I walk in that thing, I'll choke. Because the sin of the sex and the sex with the men and the sex with the women, we done glamorize everything. God said, ain't no blessing on you. He said, I told you, go ahead and keep on doing. Live your best life. You can't stop living. Follow everybody. Anybody that do anything against God, where he said, live your best life. Live it. You like it? I will rejoice with you. Go ahead, live it. Keep violating my word. Keep telling these children that you can be anything. Got these kids all twisted. You got to say what's right even when they don't agree with it. If a little boy want to put on the dress and that, well, that's who he want to be. Train that kid in the way he should go. Live it. Let that kid live that life. Go ahead. You got the money, pay for it. Expose it to everybody. Well, my daughter says she want to sleep with another girl, so I just love my daughter. You better tell your children, live your best life, baby. Live it. Live it. God said, live it. This is the best life you'll ever live. If it violates the word of God, it's wrong. Well, Brenda, why you say that? You can't say that. I just did. I ain't say it. I'm just reading. But I'm trying to tell you how to be blessed. But I'm just talking about we stopped up our ears because, ladies and gentlemen, the air belongs to God. The air doesn't belong to the devil. Facebook is everything on earth is Canaan. A land full of sin. God said, wake up somebody, go to Canaan and tell them what I said and see what I own Facebook. What? If you can get on there and fight and snatch people's clothes off, you think I'm going to sit on this line and just sit up there and show you how much, girl, I paid this, this Dior I got on my lip, on my eyes. You think that's what I want to do? I do like makeup. I ain't lying. But it certainly ain't the reason why I'm on here. Blessed shall be your basket and your netting bowl. Blessed shall be you when you come in. Blessed shall when you go out. The Lord will cause your enemies to rise against you to be defeated before your face. They shall come in one, but they're going to scatter at seven. That means they was flying out of there like bees. They coming in there marching all strong gospel, but when I get to when they're going to scatter into you, they don't know which way to go. The Lord will cause your enemies to rise against you to be defeated before your face. They shall come out against you one way and flee before you seven. The Lord will command a blessing on you in your storehouse and all to which you set anything your hands touch. God said it's going to be blessed. We scared to say it. Because that means because you've been doing your neighbor right. I'm just talking about, think about it like that. Because if you start talking about, yeah, I'm doing right. No, get it off of you. Today, let's just get it off of you for a minute. Get it off of you and see if you've been on the phone talking about Brenda and saying that. I don't care if it's talking about me because you ain't changed nothing on me. And I love you because I got to. Help me, Lord. That's where the Spirit come in. The Lord will cause your enemies to rise against you, defeat you before your face. They shall come in against you one way and flee before you seven ways. The Lord will command a blessing. A command. I mean, when God said, when I put a command on you, I will command a blessing. The Lord will command a blessing on you, in your storehouse, in which you to set your hand. My granddaughter, she distracted me. What is it, babe?
Can you give me Boogie Ice's number?
No, not right now. Don't be go back. I'll come back in a minute. I'll let you have it in a minute. I'll let you call. The Lord will command the blessings on you in your storehouse and all to which you set your hand, and he will bless you in the land which the Lord your God is giving you. The Lord will establish you as a holy people. What does that mean? As a people set aside as somebody I can use. I can go knock on your door, and I bet you the word going to come out of your mouth. And it's going to be according to what's written, not the stupid stuff. The Lord will establish you as a holy people to himself, just as he was sworn to you. If you keep the commandments, if you keep my word, if you do what I say, if you stay in the word, that's all you got to do. And the word is going to, all I can say, I don't know what these things right here do. I don't know what these things do. All I do is take them. Now, what they do on the inside of me, I don't know. That's what you got to do with the word. I don't know how that thing, I don't know how this works. All I do is put on the inside of me and I get the result. That's what the word has said. Get me every day and let me do the work in you. That's the mystery that we trying to figure out what he said. It's the word in you. It's the conscience in you. It's the mind in you. Let me get in you and do the work. You don't try to figure me out. Just get my word and let it do the work. He says it's going to be me that's doing it through you. That's a mystery. I'm just telling you. I don't know. I don't title my word, but I know they hurt. I mean, they stopped me from hurting a little bit. He said, walk in his ways. Then all people of the earth shall see that you are called. You are called. You are. All the people in the earth shall see that. He said, the earth shall see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of you. Ooh. Not afraid of you like I'm scared, but afraid of you because, my God, you stand tall in God. It's just certain things they just not gonna do around you. That blessing gonna be on you until people gonna walk up on you and they're gonna think twice, and they're gonna fall on their knees because of the blessing that's on you. It ain't nothing you can do. It's what you do, what you can do. You do it right. You don't put margin where you say I use butter. All that stuff that we do, all the low down stuff we doing. The little bit of stuff that we do, we ain't doing right for our neighbors. That's why God's saying this. Because when you do it right, he said, I'm going to bless your business. I'm going to bless your business. I'm going to put that taste on their tongue. Next thing they're going to drive all the way from Utah to go buy your piece of cake. Because you left a taste that everybody coming to see when you do it right. And the Lord will grant you plenty of goods and the fruit of your body. And like I said the other day, stop gouging your price because you black. Well, you know, I got to, and then your order going to be out, but it's going to take about, you know, you got to give us time. Nope. The word said it. He said, let your yes be yes and your nay be nay. If you can't deliver but 10 orders, then that's all you need to be doing. Don't try to get all the money and then have everybody laid on your stuff and try to say, well, I'm black. That's why I get away with it. I ain't buying your stuff. I like my stuff within 7 days. I'm going to anybody that can deliver me. I'm just saying, get off the black stuff and build yourself up until you can get that stuff out on a timely manner and stop using your color to be a reason why you can be lackadaisical about your business. Stop trying to get all the money. Stop trying to mow all the yard. You know you can't mow all them yards. I'm just saying. Just mow the one you can do half doing all of them. Anyway, we got all kind of trickery ways. God is saying you can't be blessed like that. And the Lord will grant you plenty of goods in the fruit of your body, and the increase of your livestock, and in the produce of your grounds, in the land which the Lord swore to your fathers to give you. What I told Abraham, I am going to keep every bit of my word. The Lord will open to you his good treasure, the heavens, to give you the rain to your land in its right season, and bless all the work of your hand. He said, rain going. He said, I command the rain. They need rain. Rain. You shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. And the Lord will make you the head and not the tail. You shall be above only and not beneath. If you heed the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you today, and are careful to observe them. So you shall not turn aside from any of the words which I command you this day, to the right or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. All right, that's all the way to verse 15. All right, the rest of them, we got to go to 68. The rest of them is, I'm going to get you for what you did to your neighbor. That's the part that we shut down. 15 to 68. He said, I'm going to do everything I said. Because, you know, I don't like to read that part. He said, I'm telling you, better tell them. You better tell them that the way I said, don't move your neighbor's landmark. Don't take your neighbor's wife. Don't sleep with your neighbor's dog. Don't sleep with a man. He said, I'm just saying, these are the things that you want. He said, but he said, don't even go there. He said, because when you start talking about that sex thing, then people start drying up and saying, well, you know, He said, well, no, we'll just say that you did something to your brother, your neighbor. And let's see what God gonna do to you and how he gonna respond. We can't do nothing to God. He said, with the food that you bring, the tithe you bring to me, I don't touch that. He said, I just inspect it and give it back to you. But it shall come to pass, if you do not obey the voice of the Lord your God, to observe carefully all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you today, and that all these curses will come upon you, the one that Jesus said I hung on that cross to take from you. But he said, but just in case you don't let me in, and you keep on walking on my word, and you keep on not knowing my voice, and you keep on doing the things that you keep doing without me, let's just see what I'm going to do. And it's all because of that. So just so we can eat it until we grow up to understand it is talking to us, me and you. But just so that the lady on the telephone you cussed out yesterday, or somebody in traffic that you said some things, let's just talk about what you said to them as a holy people, as a set-aside people, as people that represent God, as whatever you say. They just say you did something to anybody other than yourself. Maybe we can see it a little bit better. He said, now it said, curse shall you be in the city. For what? What you just got through arguing about this morning? Curse shall you be in the city, and curse shall you be. That's something you could have controlled. Curse shall you be in the city. Curse shall you be in the country. Curse shall you be in your basket, in your dough, in your bread, in the dough in the bowl. Curse shall be the fruit of your body, and the produce of your land, the increase of your cattle, the offspring of your flock. Even your cows ain't gonna have no healthy cows, no baby cow. They all crippled and sick. Curse shall be, it's called what we do to each other. They love talking. What kind of love is this? He said, you go to that classroom you teach them kids, curse shall you be when you come in. If you don't do these children right, curse shall you be when you go out. God said, you doing this? I ain't doing this. What you can do to me? I'm God. What's what you do to others make me feel like this? Can you get it now? The Lord will send you a cursing, confusion, and rebuke and all that you set your hands to do until you are destroyed, until you perish quickly because of the wickedness of your doings in which you have forsaken me. All these companies that ain't no pork in this stuff, and it's all organic. It ain't. This is kosher. He said, you a lie, cause you know pork tastes good. This stuff we doing. The Lord will he said, I will make the plague cling to you until he has consumed you from the land which I go. He said, you're going to die, you're going to die, you're going to die. All because of what you did to your neighbor. Stop looking at this word like what he going to do to you because you all innocent and you can't live this life. He said, you ain't have to treat your neighbor like that. Look at it like that. Look at love talk. Like you go to school fussing over why that parent, that teacher talk to your child like that. He said, that's how I'm going to do you because of what you did to somebody else. The Lord will strike you with consumption. He said, I'll let you get addicted to something until it'll kill you. You can smoke so much weed until your eyelashes smell like weed. Your fingernails, your eyelashes. He said, I'll give you so many cakes until you kill yourself. I'll make you so addicted to stuff until you ain't got nothing. The only destiny you got is death. The word said, he said consumption. The Lord will strike you with consumption, with fever, with inflammation, with severe burning fever, with the sword, with scorching, and with mildew. In your house, you'll look clean. Look behind that and wonder why everybody in there coming there sick. Because it's a mildew back there. You ain't see it. They shall pursue. Why God doing that? Because the way we treat each other. The church has kept this from you because they said we don't live under the law no more. So we're redeemed from the curse of the law. If you don't treat your neighbor right, he said everything that you got is not going to prosper. And you need to hear how I said it. This will hurt my feeling when you do people wrong. When you stay up on the telephone and you argue with a person over and over again and y'all going around in a circle for 2 or 3 hours. And he said, I left that place. I told Moses to go north. And they still fumbling around there, fussing over stuff. He said, I'm gone. If who want to watch, you ever do a video and it get frozen? That's how we do in life. We get stuck and we argue all night. And it's just there. That's how God said it looks to him. That the internet not working. Nothing is flowing. So when we don't look at this, God said, let me just tell you how it make me feel when you do each other like this. And then you'll see why I ain't playing. Because as long as you reading and you shy away from it, you feel like you're not good enough. He said, but just measure yourself and how you treat somebody and see whether or not, let me tell you how I feel about it. The Lord will strike you with consumption, with fever, inflammation, severe burning, with the sword, with scorching, with mildew. They will pursue you until you perish. He said, that stuff going to pursue you until you perish. And your heavens which are up over your head shall be bronze. He says, everything up going to be hard on you. And the earth which you standing on going to be hard on you. It's going to be iron. The Lord will change the rain of your land to powder. You're going to be looking for rain, and God said, ain't going to be nothing but dust. From the heavens it shall come down until you are destroyed. He said, just because, why? Why God doing us like that? Because we do this to each other. And it is the norm. And I'm not talking about collectively nobody. I'm talking about us, me and you, me, just one of us, two of us. The Lord will cause you to be defeated before your enemy. You going down and your enemy going to know you down. You shall go away one way. This him now. This talking to the church against the people that know me. He talking to everybody, talking to the church. He said, you're going to come in there because you got my word. You saw me open up that Red Sea. You saw me rain down manna. You saw me open the blinded eyes. You saw Peter walk on water. You saw what they did to me on that cross. And then you go out there and we got to get back at you. I just can't rest. I just got to let karma gonna get you. You know, I prayed, karma gonna get you. You better tell God to destroy that crop because you don't want, he said, all that stuff, you can't use me like that. Who you talking to? Open your mouth and say it again. And this is what I'm going to do to you. Us. No, he done freed me from that. Not if you ain't in his word. You going to get every lick of that cross. Only thing different is we won't die. And Jesus going to be looking at us just like this. He said, there's not a flinch in me. You know how you did that, baby? When I told you not to sleep with your mother-in-law and you got in the bed with her anyway. I told you don't you sleep with the same woman that your dad slept with. I told you stop sleeping with that dog. These stuff you can do. But now that's don't get it off of us. Because, you know, we can't help. Let's see what you did to somebody else. Your carcasses shall be food for all the birds. He said your body going to be laying out in midday. And the birds going to eat you in the air, from the air. And the beasts of the earth going to say, I'm hungry. And no one shall frighten them. Ain't nobody going to be out there to get away. He said, because there's going to be so many dead bodies until you're going to have time to call nobody to get it away because we can't bury the dead that fast. And we think that we've seen it. How you treating your neighbor? Let's go here. The Lord will strike you with the boils of Egypt with tumors. And your hair coming out of the scalp with an itch that you can't stop scratching, from which you cannot be healed. All because we don't treat each other right. What you did this morning, what we did this morning. Getting up arguing, getting up cussing, getting up fighting. He said, I don't play that. He said, if you can't see me because I said it, believe me because I saw you do what you did to somebody else. And this is how I feel about it, because I love just that hard. I love so hard, I'll strike you with madness. And I'll blind you, verse 28, and confuse your heart. Your heart won't even know how to beat. And you shall grope at noonday. You groping in the daytime with lights on as a blind man. And you walking around in the daytime in midday. Grope in darkness. He said you'll be in the bright as the sun, but groping like you're blind in the darkness. You shall not prosper in your ways. You shall be only oppressed and plundered. Oh, I'm so depressed. Continually, no one shall save you. Can't nobody help you. You shall betroth. You're going to get a wife, but another man shall lie with her. I mean, he said, I ain't playing. I don't play the way y'all treat each other. He said, I don't play like that. This is how I feel about it. I love you so much until I do all this just because you mistreated somebody else. You shall build a house, but you shall not dwell in it. You shall plant a vineyard, but your grapes, you can't gather its grapes. Your ox shall be slaughtered before your eyes, all your cattle, but you shall not eat of it. Why we dancing and shouting, talking about blessed are we, blessed are we, better eat this for our God. So I saw what you did to your wife this morning. I saw all that. You said I can't help it. Okay, then this what you going to get. Your donkey shall be vowed and taken away. Well, we need a Savior. And Jesus said, I'm here for you. But you got to get in my word and stop playing. From before you, and he shall be He said, your donkey shall be taken away from you forcefully from before you, and you shall not, and it will not be, in other words, your job going to be taken. The thing that carried you, they're going to be taken. The stuff that meant everything to you. Your sheep given to your enemies and shall not, and you can't rescue them. Your sons and your daughters shall be given to another people. In other words, you're going to give birth to a baby and he's going to be a slave for somebody else. Your sons and your daughters, that's because of the way we treat each other. All this is because it's not what you're doing to God, it's what you're doing to each other. Jesus said, what you do to me, what you do to your neighbors, the same thing you're doing to me. And I'm trying to tell us to stop that. Your sons and your daughters shall be given to another people, and your eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all day long. I just want my baby. And there shall be no strength in your hand. You ain't got no way to get him. A nation whom you have not known shall eat the fruit of your land. People going to come in and get your stuff, speaking in another language, and you can't even understand what they're saying, why they're taking stuff right in front of your eyes, and you can't believe it. Keep on buying all these guns. Keep on doing it. I said, live your best life. Go out there and do vengeance in your own. Live it. Keep on doing what you're doing. He said, this is the best life you'll ever see. I ask you to excuse me. Let me handle this. Let me take care of the president of the United States. But what we do, we don't want him. That's not your business. He said, I got this. You forgot me. You've been so focused on that man. I haven't seen you at the table in so long until I don't even know you're on the road. Because you've been attending to your own thing, and I still been letting you breathe. But go ahead, live your best life. Take your best shot. This is as good as it's going to get. A nation whom you have not known shall eat the fruit of your land and the produce of your labor, and you shall be only oppressed and crushed continually. In other words, you're going to be so depressed. Yeah, how about living in a country where can't nobody speak your language, but they beating you upside your head? I'm just saying. And they don't care nothing about your laws and the American laws. And they speaking a language, and God said, I'll make a weak man come over there and tell you and your king what to do. All because of what you could have done, and that was treated your neighbor right. So you shall mow your yard. You know good and well nobody want to live beside you, and you too lazy to mow your yard, and then you talk about, this is my yard. Mow that yard. Nobody want your garbage all leaning all on their gate. Your tree limbs all hanging on. Clean the thing up. You represent God. You know, if God said, I ain't coming in there, he said, I'm telling you, better treat them neighbors right. The stuff that we can do. So you shall be driven mad because of the sight which you see with your eyes, and all the terrible things that you see. The Lord will strike you in your knees, and he said, I'm going to hit your knees and on your legs with severe boils, which cannot be healed, and from the sole of your foot to the top of your head. He said, I ain't playing. Why? Because the way you treat each other. Black people, the way you treat white people. He said, I ain't playing. Live your best life. Fix it. Go on out there. Go on out there and kill every last one of them like you do. Go in them schools and keep killing. That's your best life. Keep on. Keep on going to church and sucking up all the money you can out of people. Live your best life and keep throwing it in that basket and say, well, I'm just giving it to the Lord. Live your best life. Live it. Live your best life. Do it. Don't change. Don't do what God said do. I'm telling you what the word said. He told those children of Israel, he said, don't you eat that. But if they want it, give it to them. And I said, Lord, you meant that? He said, I did. He said, what do you think? I'm God. He said, the devil don't own nothing. He don't own nothing. I own everything. And I just said, if you don't want to hear me, what you say you want, go ahead, go for it. But then what you going to get? The Lord will bring you into the king. He said, the Lord will bring you and the king whom you set over you to a nation which neither you nor your father have known. He said, you and your king going down. Your daddy, you wouldn't talk like that. And you shall serve their God. They're going to make you serve him. Go ask Daniel and them when they told him to bow down. And if you don't bow down to us, we'll cut your neck off. Daniel said, I trusted God that I didn't trust before I got up in here. Keep on going there with all them different titles on your church when God said, my name is not there. If it's division, I ain't in it. He said, I ain't the author of confusion. I'm simple, I'm easy to get along, and I'm easy to understand. Keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on. Then live your best life. I need to write me a song. Live your best life, because this is as good as it's going to get. If we keep ignoring God's word. The Lord will bring you, and I'm talking about me too. You must get it all together. No, I'm crazy enough to go to class every day. I don't trust me. The only thing that keep me is at my mind, my conscience. It's like when you be around somebody that cuss all the time. Now, you know how you don't make your kid cuss? That's how God's word is. You don't make them cuss, you just cuss. And all of a sudden you talk to him. I'm getting with a teacher that know how to think. I'm getting up under him. I'm going there so I can start thinking like him. The Lord will bring you and your king whom you set over to a nation which neither you or your father have known, and there you shall serve other gods, wood and stone. You don't want me? Go on down there and bow down to that wood and stone. Go on down there and keep on making that man, that pastor wife that look like a Jezebel that come in there every day. What kind of sense does that make? Church started at 7 o'clock. Why are you at 11 o'clock coming in? Why somebody got to walk you down and make sure that I just want to sit beside her. What's up with that? What we getting that for? Live your best life. Live your best life. I've seen a lot. Live your best. The ushers, you think you're doing God a favor when he clearly said, don't you sit that rich man on the front seat and tell that poor man sit back there. Live your best life. Get your recognition at the head usher board. Get it. Get it. The pastor, you and the secretary, you know good and well y'all ought not to be back in the office. Why you can't come out and pray like here? If business started at 7 o'clock, why are you late? But the Lord had to give me I got a word from the Lord from you. I have a word from the Lord from you, and I just got to tell you, live your best life. The Lord, I'm telling y'all, and we just go to church and we flock up in there, and we don't demand nothing. We don't hold nobody accountable. But when they do say this, you can't tell me what to do because I got people that's above you, and you don't tell me what to do. Out of order. My grandbaby can tell me something. Out of order. We done made monument of monsters out of these human beings. You better wake up. You better wake up. If the Lord let me breathe in the morning, I'm going to be on chapter 29. Anyway, he said, you're going to be serving God. He said, they're going to make you bow down because you're already scared. You're scared to do what's right when you got the freedom. He said, now what you going to do when they lock you up? You know you're going to bow down to them. And I'm going to save you for that day. I'm going to save you just for that day because of what you did to your neighbor. Since we can't stand it when we talk about us. But what you did to your neighbor. Brenda, every time I look on her, Facebook ain't no play for no word. Well, where is it? What is it for? What is it for? You do you. I'm scared not. I feel God enough to say, and all that crazy stuff. Somebody might change their mind and take another look at the word. And there you shall serve other gods, wood and stone. Because when they get through locking you down, if you scared to do me, I bet you're going to be scared to do. I'm going to give you somebody to be scared of that you can see. Since you can't see me, because I'm God and you ain't never seen me, I'm going to give you somebody that you can see and they're going to beat you like you're crazy. And then and they said, bow down, you're going to be on the ground, kissing. Look at all that dirt on your lip. I'm just saying. And you shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among the nations where the Lord would drive you. You said that your God is real. He said, people going to look at you, ain't nothing to you or your God. Because we don't represent him. We like his name. We drive. We park. And they got people that's how to get there early so you can park. You got to get there early so you can get a seat. And if you ain't going to a church that big, I don't know what you're doing. I forget. You do so many other crazy stuff I can't even remember. You shall carry much seed out to the field, but gather little in, for the locust shall consume it. If your pastor have not taught you this, you need to run. We're blessed in the city. We're blessed in the field. We're blessed going out and everywhere we go. I don't even know the word. Look at your neighbor and say, bless, 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 bless. Read the whole counsel of God. How you treat your neighbor. She didn't let me sing my song today. I ain't studying. I ain't even come to choir rehearsal next week. It was my turn to direct the choir. You can teach the song, but I'm going to be the one that's going to direct it. Sister Brenda. You're blessed. And God said, I ain't in there. He said, but have your best life. Keep on going to churches and doing that stuff. Help yourself. Keep ignoring my word. Live your best life. And you shall become astonished in a proverb, a byword among the nations where the Lord drive you. You shall carry much seed to the field, but gather little in. For the locust, and that's mercy that letting you have a little. He said, I could have just burned it all up, but I let you have a little bit. Live your best life. We got to stop this, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get so hungry to say, somebody lying. Either she lying or I've been lied to. All I'm saying is God said, I will provide for you. Well, how come I wake up in the morning and I'm so blessed? I told you the other day, a thief got a lot of stuff. What's the difference? Check the word. That's all I'm trying to get you to do. Just read the word. You got to do the word. Okay, read it first. At least read it so you'll know if you mess up, you did it because you wanted to. That would be, she always up there talking about read the word. It's more than just reading the word. You got to do it. That's just a distraction to get you off. A kid may not understand what he's reading, but you better teach him how to read. When he go to kindergarten, he might be saying, that is a combustible. He can say it. And then one day it's going to hook up to him and say, oh, that's what that means. Get the word first. And then as you he's smart enough to know how to teach you what it means. When you start, you going to do the word. Your conscience is going to, if anything, you're going to know I shouldn't be doing it. Even if you don't do it, you're going to say, I did say he said don't do it. Your conscience is going to bother you a little bit. You better not, I'm telling y'all, you should have all the lies. Lord, we rebuke every lie because anything that keep these people from not reading the word, we rebuke that lie. You shall have olive trees throughout all your territory, but you shall not anoint yourself with it. I got to get me some of that oil. With the oil, for the olives are going to drop off. You got the trees, but ain't no olives on them. You shall beget sons and daughters, but they shall not be yours. You having them, baby. Ooh, had that baby. How many you got? 6? For they shall go into captivity. All you did is gave birth so the enemy can come and get them. Locusts shall consume all your trees, all because you moved your neighbor's landmark. You bothered something that wasn't none of yours. You had a bad day at work and you felt like anybody. Don't mess with me today. You read my t-shirt. All that stuff that we do as church people. Educate the people. Consume all your trees and the produce of your land. God had 14 verses full of blessing. He said, I got the rest of them. Do the math. The aliens or the strangers who was among you shall rise higher and higher above you, and you shall come down lower and lower. He shall lend to you, but you shall not lend to him. He shall be your head, and you shall be his tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon you and pursue you and overtake you until you are destroyed, because you what? Did not obey the voice of the Lord to keep his commandment and his statutes which he commanded you. You took that stuff back to Walmart and you knew it wasn't no good. You ain't buy it at Walmart. All of the little stuff that we doing. Stuff that we can do. Putting stuff in your pocket in that store and you didn't think nobody was watching. God said, yeah, you got out of there, but live your best life. I told you I'm not playing. I protect neighbors. I protect them from you, from us. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon you and pursue and overtake you until you are destroyed, because you did not obey the voice of the Lord your God to keep his commandment and his statute, and he commanded you. All I want to do is, child, once they give me this job, it's mine. May I help you? Girl, may I help you? God, just live your best life. Live your best life. He said, I said, man shall not put on that to pertain to a woman, and a woman shall not put that. He said, don't you be no cross-dresser. You better be distinguished in who you are. Live your best life. Let these people make laws so you can live your best life, and now nobody can talk about you except they sue you for saying, live your best life, because this is as good as it gets. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to talk about anybody because I got to get up and go exercise like anybody else. I can't eat everything. I'm going to have a cookie today because I set aside Saturday eating a cookie. I'm just saying I can't have a cookie every day. I'm just saying. Whatever it is that we don't have discipline over that we do to other people, God said, go for it. And they shall be upon you for a sign and a wonder in your descendants forever, because you did not serve the Lord your God with joy and gladness of heart for the abundance of everything. Yeah, I'm just telling you, I used to eat a cookie every day. I stop at a piece of cake and buy me a piece of cake every day. I had to stop that. I like me better thinner. So does the work of the Lord. Because you did not serve the Lord your God with joy and gladness of heart for the abundance of everything. Therefore you shall serve your enemies, whom the Lord will send against you in hunger, You're going to be hungry and thirst and nakedness in need of everything. You're going to need stuff and your enemy ain't got you up. Oh, yeah, well, I ain't done yet. All what? Because I got up fighting this morning. I promised somebody I was going to do something. Said, girl, I ain't got them up. This is how God said I feel about that. He will put a yoke of iron around your neck until he has destroyed you. The Lord will bring a nation. He said, I love people just that much. He said, I hurt you for somebody else. I will hurt you. I will hurt you. I'll destroy you. I told you to stop. I told you to stop. But just because I didn't jump and pronounce these cursing on you on the day and you still kept going, all I'm saying now is go ahead. Go ahead. Keep on. Keep on ignoring me. Keep on. It's so many people done died with this coronavirus until it ought to make you take another look, and we ain't did nothing but try to get back in that church and open it up doing the same thing God said. I told y'all, don't go in there. Not now. Because you have not changed. You haven't. When you go back in there, why? Why are you going back in there? Girl, I got to go back in there because the Lord gave me a song. And I got to go sing my song. I'm telling you, until you get the word, I would not return. But okay, live your best life. The Lord will bring a nation. If somebody took everything I got from me, that means I need to examine myself. All this time, God has not changed this thing, moved this thing, and we still doing the same thing. He said, you still don't know what I said? You still talking about songs that you singing, and I get the glory. He said, I ain't getting the glory out of that because you didn't tell the whole truth. You told people what I said that blessed if, and that was hypothetical. But what I'm telling you, if you do this, it can be hypothetical. But we so much like what he said don't be until it is what it is. These are the promises. And you can't hold a decent conversation. I'm going to tell y'all something. If people talking about somebody else, they ain't got nothing to talk about. They ain't about nothing. You got nothing to talk about. So to gain your interest and keep it, so we just stop poking into somebody else and talk about them to keep them interested. Because we like that. That's what's in us. And Jesus said, I ain't in there. He said, if I ain't Lord over the whole house, I ain't Lord at all. You can't put me in the closet, in the pantry, and upstairs and give me a bathroom and say, that's your room. You a guest in my house. He said, if I'm not God over the whole house, I'm not there. And live your best life. Keep on living without me. Keep on. This word right here should be something that me and you ought to be singing about, this whole thing. But because we go to a church and we sit there, we playing on our phones. We looking at it. Oh, when is he married? I'm trying to see his finger. Oh, no, good. He gay. You know what she like, though. She like women like you. I'm just saying. We don't turn that. God to live your bad life. Keep on. Keep on being called by my name doing all this stuff. Keep on, guys in the choir and know that when the last time you played a song, you never read the word lyrics to the song. I know you ain't living it. Live your best life. You know, my bishop. Keep on calling these folk bishops. Live your best life. When I told you clearly, all y'all brothers, keep on. Live your best life. Well, that's giving honor. Live your best life. That man is a brother just like you. That's why everything out of control. That's why we can't get with. That's why my people that are called by my name won't humble themselves. He said, I told you don't do that. He said, what my nose look like telling my ear I'm in a better place, they see me more. That's stupid. Just live your best life. You know that stuff don't make sense. It only works in the church. It only works in the organization or the cult that you're in. You take that to your job. And tell your principal may have a job, but that man, if you're a good one, he knows that I'm in charge with more responsibility. He said, he that works the hardest is the greatest among you. Not the one that said, look down on you while they pick up out of you and suck the life out of you. You know, it's the pastor's birthday. You know, the pastor going on vacation. You know, the pastor and his wife, you know, it's their birthday, and we got to do this, and we got to do the anniversary, and we got to do this, and you know, live your best life. Just live it. Just keep on. Make God the house look like it ain't. This is where we go to celebrate our pastor. I mean, you're supposed to get, the Bible said, blessed are those that, you know, carry the word. It is. And he meant that. But check and see if the word is being carried. I tell you what you do. Tape your message and then line it up and type every word. Look at it. Don't play now. Type what you hear every Sunday and put it on paper, and then match it with the word of God. And like the teacher said, exchange papers. Grade that paper beside what's written and stop lifting these people up as if to say, because they said God said it. If God didn't give you a copy, he ain't say it. Well, I got to say it that plain because we playing. We playing. We playing. Playing, and therefore you shall serve your enemies whom the Lord will send against you in hunger and thirst and nakedness. All why? Because we want to live our best life. We want to do what we want to do. So Lord said, go ahead. Therefore you shall serve your enemies whom the Lord will send against you in hunger and thirst and nakedness. What did God tell them to say? He said, go ahead and preach the word. They don't want to hear it. Shake the dust off. If he don't even bring it out, let them live their best life. Go ahead. Keep on ignoring me. The Lord will bring a nation against you from afar. He said, I get somebody that you didn't even know that country existed. From the end of the earth, as swift, like an eagle, flies a nation whose language you will not understand. And it just says, chop her head off. I don't know what they said. I'm just saying. I might have said something in a nation language. I wasn't trying to. I was just giving you an illustration. A nation of fierce counsel. They're going to look at you and you're going to know they mad. But does not respect the old people. Oh, Brenda used to limping. He don't care. He said, I don't respect her. And I don't respect that baby. That's what the word said, the 50th verse. A nation fierce counsel. They so mean. You want meanness? You don't want me? Then I'll send you somebody to treat you to tell the old folk, get out the way. And tell a young baby, better get that baby out. Since we're going to kill him anyway. He said, I give you somebody to kill him in your face. Since you said, I just going to have sex with this baby, and then you let all them housewives get on there and just lure you and suck the life out of you. Some people's lives don't line up with the word of God. They just got popularity. And you run after them to get a word from nothing. And he said, go ahead, live your best life. And they shall eat the increase of your cattle, your livestock, your produce, your land until you are destroyed. They're going to take all your food. They shall not leave you a grain or new wine or these people don't care. God said, I'm going to send you a mean man. You want somebody going to lead you? You want to hear somebody? I would make a skinny man that look like he ain't got no sense control you and all he got to, and I'm telling you, that word. Why? Because we say we want to live our best lives. And this is the Lord. And what is God really trying to get us to do? Treat each other right. All this because we just want to treat each other right. They shall not leave your grain. Ain't nowhere in the world. 4 years that man been president. I ain't opened my mouth. Why? Because I saw the word. I ain't saying nothing about that guy. I don't have to agree with him. I know the evidence of who ought to be in leadership based on how I want to vote. But I ain't going to sit down all day long and talk about him. Not when the word said, but go ahead. We can live our best life. They should not leave you a grain or a new wine. God said, I give you somebody that if you think the increase of your cattle, the offspring of your flock until they have destroyed you. They shall besiege you. That means they're going to stand outside and look at you like this and just watch your every move. I'm besieging. I'm going to watch them until I can get them with it. Oh, they ain't got no water. Now they looking for water. They looking for food. Now they looking for cattle. Now I'm going to besiege you until I see you destroy yourself. They shall besiege you. That's what they doing with these satellites, looking at you. Some of these countries looking at us and say, after a while, he said, watch this. Watch this. Watch they do this. We so predictable. But go ahead. Ignore this word. Keep on running to them. If you can't say nothing to your pastor and he wrong, he a human being just like you, and you can't say, why I don't know this. Why you talk? Ask that woman or that man, why we dancing every Sunday and we still stupid when it come down to what God told? Why we don't know? Why we know the word said this? Because you it's your fault. They shall besiege you at all your gates until your high fortified walls. He said, I don't care about I don't care about how you just a gated community. He said, we standing out there, we're going to watch you until you got to come out. And when you come out, you're going to be easy for us to get. They shall besiege you at your gates. Well, it's a way to do it. See, Brenda, it's out of season and people going through too much to hear this. I ain't write this. I didn't tell myself to be in Deuteronomy. I started in, what book I started in? When I retired last year, I started in May. I had nothing to do with that. I just started reading a chapter every day and guess where I landed? Right here. What I supposed to do? Well, people going through too much. That's not on the next page. When God told me, he said, I want you to read that thing the way you taught math. He said, take my word and be a fisher of men through mathematics the way you did, because I like the way you taught math. Now take my word and go out there and decompose them problems and show people how to put it back together again. And I'm saying, and then you tell, like, I call one of my relatives, and I said, tell me how to do the problem. That's abstract, Brittany. You don't know how to do that. God said, girl, please. Y = KX. It's that baby food. You trying to teach concrete out of abstract. The word is concrete. That means we can do it. This is not a mystical thing that is so far beyond only certain people can do it. You can treat your neighbor right. You can stop stealing. You can stop telling that boss that you collected a tip that you're supposed to share with everybody. I don't know nothing about all this stuff, but you supposed to share that tip with everybody else, but that's all I got. That's all they gave me. Let me tell y'all another thing, ladies and gentlemen, that waiting in these the law has permitted you to live and sleep and do whatever you want to do. But when I go to what's the name of that restaurant I went to? Well, anyway, one of them things that serve lobsters and that good old bread. I had two women that was walking by me, and they thought they were hitting on each other, all up in each other's whatever they do. Let me tell you, you better stop that. Live your best life. You serving food and you talking about how you want to get in that girls, and two girls talk. I told your manager. I sure did. That's your food tastes just like your service. I ain't coming back there. Except I want my money back that I ordered during the corona that you have baked my food. I'm going up there to get something. I don't know if I want to eat their food though. But I can't be eating all these folks' food that living like that. You serving food thinking just because you don't cut your hair short and you trying to swag like this, and then you telling this girl what you want to do and you serving my food. I'm like, Daniel, I can't eat that. That's all right. Y'all gonna keep that. I'm gonna forget y'all off my book. I don't want nothing from it. I started to call because the guy told me, come back up to the restaurant, they're gonna make it good and all. I ain't going back to that one. I can't handle it. Y'all done made this thing until people living their best life all in your food. Folk ain't washing their hands. That was before the corona though. You shall eat the fruit of your own body, the flesh of your, he said, you're gonna get hungry. All of this, what God is saying, he proved in his word that he did it. Them folk walked into the promised land from the country to the city, and they got distracted. And he had to do what he said. So what are we to learn from this? Pay attention to what Jesus said and let him work. And Jesus is going to put inside of you everything that you can't do. And then sometime he's going to tell you it is written. That means go back and check the Old Testament so you can see how they did it. Instead of just saying, I'm redeemed from the curse of the law. That part, but you want the blessing of the law. Because there were some blessings under that too. We just got to get it together. He said, you redeemed from the being healed. What that mean? You were redeemed to not to go to that cross and be hung. He said, you were redeemed from capital punishment. But he said, but if my word don't abide in you, then you ain't none of my disciples. It's so easy. You should eat the fruit of, Brenda, you just can't be my friend. I just had enough of you. I had somebody tell me that. Live your best life. You should eat the fruit of your body, the flesh of your sons and your daughters, whom the Lord your God has given you, and the siege and the desperate straits in your enemies shall distress you. He said, you should eat the fruit of your own body. You going to give birth to a baby, you going to get so hungry, you going to eat it. They did it. They said, I cooked my baby and I'm so hungry she won't cook hers. That's how bad it got. And we doing the same thing they did to our neighbor. I ain't gonna say we doing it to ourselves. We can't handle that. We doing it to somebody else. You should eat the fruit of your... We better check the word to see if we doing what they did. Because if we doing what he did, then you are not in him. And if you are not in him, you got to get what he got that you didn't have to get. You're going to get capital punishment. You know how God equated the life forever? He said, because, if you don't come to him and listen to him, he said, when I baptized him, he got baptized by John. And he said, that dove came down. He said, this is my beloved son, hear ye him. At least know what he said. I ain't talking about part of what he said. Not the first part and make a song out of. Take the whole thing. Sometimes you can't write the whole song. You have to just get the part of the whole message and let it get into your spirit until God will give you a song. We got to stop singing everybody else's song. That's why I be trying to sing everything I can. I get through doing this, I'm going to write a song. I already wrote it last night. And I'm going to sing it even if my voice crack. I don't care. I ain't trying to compete with my brother. My son said, Mama, you going to go out like that? Boy, I'm too old to be trying to hit every note right. My voice is coming back to life. If God make it sound better, then it would be over time. But we going to eat the word and sing. You shall eat the fruit of your own body, the flesh of your own sons and your daughters, whom the Lord your God has given you in the siege and desperate straits in which your enemies shall distress. You're going to be eating your own kid. That's how bad it's going to get. But okay. The sensitive and very refined man, the man that you thought that was sewed together, wore all the high-priced clothes, the sensitive and very refined man, the man whose nails was done, who just had the nicest cars. Let's see what he could do. The sensitive and very refined man among you will be hostile toward you, toward his brother, toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the rest of his children whom he leaves behind, so that he would not give you any of them the flesh of his children whom he will eat. He said that fine man going to be frying his own child leg, because he has nothing left in his siege and desperate straits in which your enemies shall distress you at all your gates. He said, time is going to get hard. And everything that God has spoken here, these people walked it out in history, and it happened. The tender and delicate woman among you, she was so fine until when she put her foot on the pedal of the car, it made you look like, oh my God, that lady's sexy from her toes to the crown of her head. Oh my God, the way she pick up that glass and say, oh. The way she bit that, put that gum in her mouth. Oh. Because he has nothing left. He said, that woman, that delicate woman among you, who I can't do it. He said, the tender and delicate woman among you who would not venture to set the sole of her foot on the ground because of her delicateness and sensitivity. He said, that girl she's the pretty woman, and she got that husband. She said she's going to refuse to the husband. She said, I can't give you nothing tonight. I ain't going to give you my bosom. And to her son and her daughter. That woman is going, what she said, what the word said? The venture to set the sole of her foot on the ground because of her delicateness and sensitivity will refuse to the husband of her bosom and refuse her son and her daughter, her placenta, God graphic, which comes out of her between her feet and her children whom she bears, for she will eat them secretly. I can't let them see me eat. I'm too hungry. I'm just saying that's how we treat our neighbors. God said, I love your neighbor so much, I'll fight for him just like this. I love that woman husband that you took from him. Every drop that woman cried. Every drop that you went in there and you called her husband. But we didn't really have sex. We just, whatever we did, all the sins that I've done, all the sins that God said, if I'm telling you right now, I will fight you, beat you, and stop that mess. But I can't help who I love. Live your best life. Live your best life. He said, I care so much about you. That man that couldn't keep his hands off you, and every time you tried to go around him, that's why I don't date nobody. I got sick of that. I got so sick of men trying to do to me what I want you to do to me, but I know God's word said you got to get out of here. I done went too far. Nope, can't do it. Nope, my brain, I'll go crazy. I will go crazy. You got to go. That's why I don't set myself up. Nope, I'm staying this word. Nope. Yeah, what my body want, what your body want. But what the word said, I obey the word. You got to go. I can't play like that. I can't. Oh, you so hard on men. I can't help it. They want too much. Jesus paid too much for me to stay out there. Keep my clothes on. That lady said, she said, I can't get, I'm in the room. What you doing? Eating placenta, which comes out from between her legs. But she would eat them secretly for lack of everything in the siege, in desperate strait, in which your enemy shall distress you at all your gates. You in there eating your unborn baby stuff. if you do not carefully observe all the words of the law that are written in this book, that you may fear this glorious and awesome name, the Lord your God. It's better not to have known God than to do this stuff that we do. Well, that usher didn't speak to me. Yeah, she talked to my husband that kind of way, and I'm going to get her. The Bible done already told you. You better stay out there being between that man and that woman, that man and that man. Anyway, we need to go to church and hear the word and go home. If you do not carefully observe all the words of the law, he said, I told you, at least know what I said, even if you ain't going to do it. If you don't even plan to do what I said, it is your job. If my name is written there, that word better be written. Every story that God wrote, every word you can't pronounce, you better play a tape. You better play something so these people can hear that word. But people, just in case, you got to know this word for yourself. We are inexcusable. If you go into any church and if the pastor saying the same thing over Sunday, that's just like saying, all right, children, take out your book. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 5 times 20. Let's go to another scripture. See, I told you 5 times 5. That ain't how you read the word. How many followers you got, Brother One? I ain't none, because I'm behind the one that lead. I'm a follower. What you think I'm going to do, count people? Some days I get on here, don't be nobody on here but me. But guess what I do? Do what he said. The Lord your God, then the Lord will bring you and your descendants extraordinary plagues. He said, if you don't listen to me, you don't let my word be the word. If you don't put my word back and you don't let my word be magnified. He put this in, look at that. I don't know if y'all can see capital letters. Capital. He said, I put it in capital letters. I really want you to see. I don't know. I can't see it when I do that. Oh, there it is up that part. Let me see. That part right there. I can't hardly see it. But anyway, them letters right there, them big letters. He said, I put that in big letters. He said, if you don't fear the glory and awesome name, the Lord your God, then the Lord will bring upon you and your descendants extraordinary plagues, great and prolonged. Keep on. Stay on in there. If I were you, I'd go in there and snatch every name of them churches over there and say, I ain't going back in there like that. I ain't with y'all. No, if I stay with y'all, he going to judge me like I'm one of y'all. I ain't going to be a part of that. They too scared to do it. I told you. This corona is, like that boy said the other day, the young man said the other day, that's just a trumpet. This is a trumpet blast. We finally saw something with our own eyes that we can't control. And you can blame it on the president if you want to. You're so foolish. You're so foolish. He can stop it. He should have. We just be talking. That's because we got our eyes off this word. The problem is the church. That's why this world look like this. It's because he said, my people that are called by my name won't humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways. Then I heal the land. I'm not just quoting that because people want to throw it up. I ain't thinking about people just throwing it up. Where you get that from? What chapter was that? What else was he talking about? What did they do for him to say that? That's how serious God is. We don't read this word. We walk out with part of the word like the devil. We sound just like the devil. If you do this, I'll give you Jesus. Jesus said it is written. We can't come back with nobody because we're too busy talking about what my pastor said. And child, I ain't listening to you. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in this book of the law will be the Lord. He said the Lord will bring it upon you until you are destroyed. Why? Because what we do to each other. I get so many name calls from members of my family and people that I know. You think you the only somebody saved. You shall be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven in multitude, because you would not obey the voice of the Lord, capital L, your God. And it shall be that just as the Lord rejoiced, check this out right here. And it shall be just as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and multiply you, so the Lord rejoice over you when he destroy you. He said, I was so glad to see you when I saw you coming out of Egypt. He said, but you done got yourself so crazy, I'm going to be rejoiced to see you go back. All the stuff that's going to you, I'll mock you. Why? Because of what you did to your neighbor. I'm just using one of them laws. Because that's how God gave it to me. I stayed before God yesterday because when I read this, I said, Lord, am I saved? Am I right with you? And I was driving down the highway, and I said, but I'm sticking with you. I don't understand this. I said, this some harsh stuff. I said, show me where I am, Lord. I said, because whatever it takes, what am I doing? Show me how to line up. And before I hit that bed last night, God gave me a song. He said, this book is a love letter. This is a love letter. That I would do to you what you did because you did it to somebody else. That's how much I love that other man. That I would do this to you because how much I love him. When the tears of a woman cries because her husband will not stay in the bed that God gave you everything about her to you. And you brought to that woman and all she do is she the pastor's wife and she crying because you done slept with every head usher, choir director, you done slept with all them folks because she just want to keep her name. And I'm the pastor's wife, so I got to keep a straight face. We play so many games. He said, but this is what I'm going to do. I'll choke you for what you did to her. Since you can't see that I'll do it to you for what you know you did to yourself, how about you can see it when you know that you did to somebody else and see how much I love that person you just hurt. When you put your fist upside that woman's head and you hit upside her head, God said, what you think? And then you walk around thinking you justified because you did her like that. When your best friend come to your house and she trying to get to your husband, tell me I can't drive at night. And your husband jumping about the bed over and over, going in there trying, I'm just trying to wash the clothes for the children because they need something to put on. And you in there trying to poke on that woman while your wife in the bed. Then you meet the woman in the grocery store that's sleeping with your husband. She's shaking like a leaf. And you wonder, say, what's wrong, baby? She's shaking because she's sleeping with your husband. We play so many games. If we don't fall on our face and get this word and correct ourselves, he said, I'm going to laugh at you and I'm going to rejoice while I see you going down. How about the God of God? The God of the world rejoicing because he see you going down. Wait a minute, Parker. I'm almost done. Rejoice over you and multiply you, so the Lord rejoice over you to destroy you and bring you to nothing. The tears that's coming out of the eyes that you cried, that your best friend, the money that you borrowed and you tell the person you say, I ain't paying you back. You ain't say that when you asked for it. At least you can call them and say, I can't pay you back. And I'm going to give you a little bit, even if it take me a little longer than I thought. And then I'm doing right by you because I messed up so much. He said, the things that we do to each other, the things that, Brenda, what you doing? Watch what you're doing. You call by my name. I'll hurt you if I see you hurt somebody else. I will hurt you. I don't care nothing about you being on this word every day teaching like this. If you don't do what I say do, I'll make people look at you. I would destroy you right in the presence of all the folk that's already your enemies. Keep your face in my word so I can work through you. Don't you he said, you talk about this word when you get up. You talk about this word before you go to bed. You talk about this word even if you ain't doing it out there mowing the yard or out there doing whatever you do. If that man going out there mowing your yard, you pay that man. Represent me. You all I got. If I don't work through the church, the world is destroyed. But I believe in you so much that I know you can live up to my name. I know you can stop acting like saying you ain't no man. Your birth certificate told me when I recorded in heaven that you were a boy. Stop letting these laws get you off my word. And now you sitting silently, just like Aaron did, watching the world go down because you too scared. I ain't going to say nothing because the Bible said, obey the laws of the land. We so crooked. And they say, oh, God, we're so crooked. We're so hypocritical. And it shall be that just as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and multiply you, so the Lord rejoiced over you to destroy you and bring you to nothing. I'm rejoicing to see you go down because of what you did to your neighbor. Why are so many mamas and daddies walking down the street begging? Why the children at? Why your mom and daddy down the street begging? Why? Why that old lady in the grocery line and ain't got enough money, you sitting back talking about she need to get out of the way? Why you on your phone ain't paying no? Why? Why? Why the man stand out there begging for $1 and you got a whole lot of them you can't give him $2? Why? Why we act like that? Why? And you shall be plucked from off the land that I just gave you. Then the Lord will scatter you among all peoples, from one end of the earth to the other, and there you shall serve other gods, which you neither knew nor your daddy knew, made out of wood and stone. And among those nations you shall find no rest, because you're going to know my word is going to come back to you. Nor shall the sole of your foot have a resting place. But there the Lord will give you a trembling heart, failing eyes, and anguish of soul. Your life shall hang in doubt before you. You shall fear day and night, and have no assurance of life. In the morning you shall say, oh, I wish it was evening. And at evening you say, oh, I wish it was morning. This is the word of the Lord. These are the words that are strange to us. These are the words that are unknown to us. And we can blame it on the church. And yeah, the church is partly to blame. But at the end of the day, the corona has sent you home. Have you read the word since you've been home? Have you got to know the voice of the Father so when you do go back, that you can say, the word didn't say that? Why are we celebrating something that you ought to be hearing from God? For us, we sick people. Our faces are right, but we cancerous. We got all kind of diseases that we can't tell nobody but those who we trust, and you really can't tell them. We so sick until we can't even tell the doctor what's wrong with her. The doctor said, what you do? I ain't gonna tell him. Oh Lord, that's that part of me that coming out. Oh, Jesus help us. Oh, that it were morning, because of the fear which terrifies your heart, and because of the sight your eyes see. Last verse. And the Lord would take you back to Egypt in ships. Because I ain't going to open up this sea no more. You had to go back on a boat, on a ship. And the Lord would take you back to Egypt in ships. Because what I did, nobody else could do it. But now you go the way you think. Get on back on the ship. By the way which I said, you're going back down the same sea you came across. You shall never see it again. You thought when you left Egypt, you said, I'm done with that. And they said, ladies and gentlemen, we have now landed back in Egypt. That's that funny part of me for to come out. You shall never see it again. That's what you thought. And there you shall be offered for sale to these folk are waiting for you to come back. For what you did to their uncles and their daddies and all them folk drowned by your name, we knew it was nothing to you. That's why we tried to kill you. Now you're back. You're back in the hand of your enemy. And there you shall be offered for sale to your enemies as male and female slave. But don't nobody want to buy you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the entire book. See y'all tomorrow if y'all show up by.